Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Jake and Off with me, Jake Redpath. This week, I am joined by a special guest, a friend of mine and comedian from Kansas City. It's Steven Taylor, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Put those mitts together for Steven Taylor, huh? Let the boy hear it. We had a fun time on this episode. And, if you like what you hear, make sure you check out Steven on social media. On Instagram, he's at formerly Fat Steven. He's got all his dates and stuff there. He's going to be in Minneapolis coming up this weekend, so get your tickets to that. Also, check out Barrel of the Bottoms. They're doing good stuff, independent comedy shows in Kansas City. Him and I host one together at Knuckleheads. You've heard me mention it on here before. It's every Sunday at Knuckleheads. Come out, support local comedy. Other than that, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. I appreciate it. Give us a follow on social media at jaken.off.podcast on all the platforms. And send anything at all to jaken.off.podcast@gmail.com. I appreciate you. I love you. And enjoy the episode. I saw Wayne Jones the other day.
Whoa!
I saw him.
Did you talk to him?
No, I didn't talk to him. You might want to put that a little closer to your mouth.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Where did you see him at?
I saw him at the Ward Parkway AMC.
Oh, that's where he hangs out. Those are his stomping grounds. He always told us.
He was
old Dwayne Jones. Did he have the cue stick on his back?
No, but he was on the phone in the hallway out in outside of the movie theaters, just sitting on one of the benches.
Uh-huh.
And he was talking on the phone really loudly. So I was happy to see that his phone was still working. I was like, I had that thought. I was like, nice, dude, his phone is working.
It's amazing.
It's good to see.
He lived right there next to a phone store, and he would always come to ours, even though it was right next. He would always go to that AMC.
Wait, so he would come to our phone store even though it wasn't close to where
Not anywhere near. I mean, he goes to that AMC. He would tell me every day.
That's
he would
weird.
go play pool, and then because he worked at the radio for 35 years.
Dude, didn't he win? He told us he won a Cadillac in a radio contest.
Uh-huh.
But it's dude, you were you worked there kind of or something before, and he's like, yeah. And you're like, oh, so you guys rigged a contest kind of.
That's how they do it, dude.
Dude, it was cool.
I told you about
cool
the first concert I ever went to was Hillary Duff. And I won concert tickets to it because I called into the radio station. You had to have something that rhymed with Duff. You had to be the last one. You had to be the last one to rhyme something with Duff. And my mom woke me up and she goes, you got to call into the radio station, say rice pilaf. And it just does not rhyme. And I called in, and I was the last one. They patched me through, and I said it, and they let me in. And the only reason it took me a while to figure it out, but my next door neighbor worked for the radio, and him and my mom had talked about it, and he just was like, "We'll save time. He's got to call in at this moment." Yeah,
dude, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And so you went to Hillary Duff. Who'd you go with?
My girlfriend.
Whoa.
I had a girlfriend in 6th grade for a year and a half, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Too long.
You guys went to the Duff concert.
It was great. I had
Did she have a purity ring?
Not then. I saved that for 16. I saved that for when we could drive.
Yeah. Dude, that's kind of gross.
That's early at 6th grade.
I forgot you said 6th grade. Whatever, dude. They're never too young to start being pure.
That's how we're raised down there. We're raised right.
What's Hillary Duff up to now, dude?
Dude, she was on How I Met Your Father, the horniest show on television.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were trying to rebrand.
Is that How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, but it's it's the newer generation, I think. I think it's still the same family somehow.
Gen Z takeover?
Kind of, but it's all Hillary Duff still.
Yeah.
It's mostly millennials. It's dude, it's so horny because they're putting it on Hulu instead of ABC or whatever How I Met Your Mother came out
Oh, yeah,
on.
Dude. You can be hornier on streaming.
Dude, so horny. They're talking about sex toys opening episode of How I Met Your Father. Are
you serious?
Yeah, dude. They're going into detail.
What are they saying? Are they like, this one feels good on my
It's
pussy?
been a while since I've seen it. Yeah. I love the way that it vibrates my clitoris.
This one makes my pussy so wet.
Yeah, your father used this one on me, children.
This fall on ABC.
It's just Hillary Duff going, How I Met Your Father. You know how on How I Met Your Mother, the only thing you ever saw was like the silhouette or like the legs. The only thing you ever see of the father is just like from here up. It's just like, he was like, and I know his eyes.
You know, for being a show about meeting a man, this sure has a lot of Hillary Duff masturbating.
I always knew that girl had a lot of talent. I saw
Coming this fall to ABC, Hillary Duff jerking off. Starring Hillary Duff. Shia LaBeouf. That rhymes with Hillary Duff.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
Yeah,
that would have been
dude.
better than rice pilaf. I could have actually
What
lived
is
with that
that?
one. Dude, rice pilaf is like a I don't know if it's a dessert. It's like a dessert or like it's a way to cook rice that's like a rice mushy cake. It's like rice pudding.
Nah, dude.
I could be totally wrong. My mom told me what to say. I woke up
Rice
and just
pilaf.
said it into a phone.
Dude, that's such a funny way to wake up. Somebody being like, you gotta win this radio contest.
Son, I need you to say rice pilaf.
Dude, the first concert that I ever went to was George Strait.
Oh, that's a good concert.
With,
Who opened?
dude, so Ronnie Millsap
Great.
and Taylor Swift.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, like
How-
teenage Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Or
I
like,
s-
I guess maybe not teenage, but like,
It probably was.
she
dude.
was like a kid.
How old were you?
I was in maybe 6th grade,
Yeah, dude.
sometime around there.
Because I saw her open for Rascal Flatts when I was in like 10th grade. So I would have been, dude. Yeah, it would have been
I
like
also
she was still.
saw Rascal Flatts in like 10th grade.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah,
But not with Taylor Swift.
I went with my dad. I don't know what the situation was. I think that like I
What
think
a
that
weird
so
concert.
so I think that what happened is that my dad had bought tickets for like him and a date,
And
and
then-
that ended up falling through in
Yeah.
some way, and he was like, "Son, do you want to go see Rascal Flatts?" And I was like, "Dad, life's a highway." And I'm ready to ride. And he was like, dude, do not say that you're ready to ride to me like that.
God bless the broken road, Dad, that led me to this moment with you. Just your dad spinning you around in the concert floor.
No,
Son, I will always love you.
I remember being like, man, like this is weird because neither me nor my dad really particularly liked Rascal Flatts.
no,
that
she
much.
liked Rascal
Yeah,
Flatts a lot.
Exactly. And so it's just sort of I don't know. I just remember being like, man, this is just a weird date to be on with my dad.
Yeah. He's like, do you want something to eat? He's
Yeah,
just
'cause,
disappointed.
Dude, normally my dad and I would just be like, we would go to like baseball games and shit like that a lot. You know,
Right.
like that's the kind of stuff that we would do together.
Even George Strait. If you went to George Strait with your dad, that makes way more sense.
The George Strait thing was like in the wake of my parents' divorce.
Ooh.
My mom was like, I like want to go to this concert and I don't have anybody to go with.
That's
I think
so
She's
sweet.
like, I'm taking all my kids.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And George Strait is such a great divorce
Dude.
anthem.
Yeah, and seriously, awesome performer. Ronnie Millsap is sick. I mean, like playing the piano blind, that's
Dude.
impressive as hell. I mean,
I've seen it done, but
I've
each
seen
time.
people who have trouble walking that are blind.
But I have seen some that can catch microphones.
That's
as they
true.
fall. I
And
have
hit
seen
baseballs.
some.
Have you ever seen how like blind people play baseball? It's fucking
no.
sick, dude. It's insane. So they have like the ball has like a beep that like
Okay, yeah.
like happens, and so like they can hear it as it gets closer.
That's cool.
And so then they know when to like swing and
And they
stuff.
can guess where it's going to be based
Yeah,
off of like where they
the
hear
sound,
it.
dude,
That's
the echolocation.
That's
They're like,
wild. Dude, we used to sit and talk at work about how Stevie Wonder might not be blind, and we like legitimately talked
Yeah.
about it until I finally did enough research to be like,
Yeah.
I think Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder's pretty blind. But then
That'd be quite the ruse.
I went on a couple of dates with people who were very seriously like, Helen Keller's a piece of shit. None of it's
Really?
real. And I had to be like, no.
Dude,
Okay.
yeah. That
Look.
is a thing that I've been hearing is that people are like, oh, that she didn't actually learn all that shit.
Right. Well, she was like, she got to be like super socialist
Yeah.
because she could read.
Is that true?
Yeah. She was like pretty. And then her teacher got in trouble because they were like, what the fuck are you teaching her? And she was like, I just taught her how to read. And then she did the
Yeah.
rest of this on her own.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. And so then they were like, they just started blaming everything. But yeah, it's like a big thing that I've had to like.
Be like, no, it's real. Dude, that's so funny that people say that, though, because they're like acting as if like everybody back then was like also stupid. Like nobody would be able to figure out like, hey, they're lying about this girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's like one of the most famous people in the world.
People think about it like it was 1475,
Yes.
and it
Dude.
was like less than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like,
But dude, to be fair, it's weird to think about. I've been playing a ton of Red Dead Redemption 2 lately because it was on sale on PlayStation, and so I've been playing it. And the game is set in 1899, but you're riding around like, I mean, it's like the Wild West still, and you're like,
Sure.
fuck, dude, like I forgot
that
I
Oklahoma
forgot
was just like that.
1899 sucked ass,
Dude.
Like I always think about it, I'm like, okay, once the Civil War ended, like everybody's quality of life, like from then on, just was like on an upswing, like immediately.
Yeah.
And it's actually like not until like 1950.
Yeah, dude, it's like super. Dude, in the like 1880s, they were
Yeah.
like, we have a child labor problem
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
country. It's like 1 in 5 kids under the age of 16 are like working a full-time job
Dude,
instead
yeah,
of going to
like
school.
12-year-olds.
And they were like, we should stop it, right? And everybody's like, we should stop it.
Yeah.
That's in like 1870.
Yeah.
And then it's like 1925 when they're finally like, okay, should we finally like
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
we'll try like
Yeah.
dude, there is a time from like 1900 to the World War I is like the most depressing shit.
Dude, oh yeah. Like
It's great for America, but
well, it's just the period of time where there was like no checks on corporate
Anything.
power and like industrial giants.
yeah.
Could just do anything that they wanted. Yeah. It's like a hellscape. And there are a bunch of people who are like, it was perfect.
It was great. No, it was good for
Yeah.
us. It was wonderful. I'm going back through my genealogy right now, which
Yeah.
is a problem, which is not something that I advise anybody
It was
to do.
good for you guys specifically?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, no, most of my family was poor
Yeah.
from all of it, but it was good for us guys specifically.
Yeah.
It was like pretty good for us,
Poor people.
just white people in
Oh,
general.
white
just
people.
me and
yeah.
you. Like
I
you
feel like
and
that goes
I.
without saying. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
anytime you're talking about history,
Right.
it's just like those are all dubs.
We all know what it is.
like it. There's no point. Like that's the whole thing that people say about whenever folks are like, "Oh, I was born in the wrong time," or like it's like, yeah, well, like probably like a white person saying that.
The only way that it can
You know what
be.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like definitely a white person, probably a white guy. Like there's nobody that's like, yeah, before it was better.
Yeah. I was
That
a real
isn't like a
Sinatra
white
guy.
dude. Yeah. It just is weird to think about like my great grandma, who I knew like as a kid, you know, but she was born in like the 1800s probably.
Yeah.
She fucking, that's disgusting.
Dude, she lived in squalor. She was like a Les Miserables peasant. Like
Yeah.
she was just like
I don't know. I don't know if she did. Definitely, I think the people on my mom's side had it pretty rough.
Mhm.
It would seem like they're from like Lake of the Ozarks
Yeah.
by way of Arkansas.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And then they got up to here, like when like my grandma moved here,
Mhm.
but like they were pretty poor. But my dad's side of the family, like I think that his grandpa or his great grandpa was like very rich. And
Oh,
actually,
really?
dude, so this is funny. I've never talked about this on here. I got like Facebook messages from this lady that is like my great aunt, and she's on this mission. So my dad's dad, my grandpa,
Mhm.
was adopted into the Redpath family. So his dad, the people that adopted him were like rich.
Okay.
And he had one sibling that is like his biological sibling that was also adopted into this family. Into the Redpath family.
So they like adopted the brothers. Like
they adopted a brother and a sister, yeah.
Okay.
And this guy like owned a ton of shit like in Olathe, I believe, and like had all of this money in this company, and he sold it to his cousin or like his nephew or something, or like that's who ended up buying the company from him when he was like way older. And the whole thing that this lady keeps saying is that there was something scandalous about this purchase, and he stole all this money that's like rightfully hers and my grandpa's. But my grandpa was like, I don't fucking like give a shit. Like, I don't want that guy's company, like, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he like, you know, he had a life that he liked, and he just didn't think that it was like worth it to like go after this dude's money, you know. But this lady is like held on to it for this entire time, and she hit me up on Facebook.
Like when? How long?
A couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
This is just like a couple of years ago, and she was like, if you ever have the time, I would love to tell you the history of our family and what we are owed. Like all this like ominous shit.
And
she was like, has your father told you? What is this? I was like, what is going on, dude?
Has he let you into the truth, the knowledge?
Dude, yeah. So he told me about it, and like it's the same thing that I just told you. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like awesome, the idea of being like, oh, well, actually, like, there's this large sum of money that is, like, somehow owed to me. Like, that sounds awesome, but, you know.
You wouldn't want to hear it from that
like,
lady, though? I'd want to hear it from that lady.
I think that she passed.
Oh.
I think
Get her on the pod, dude. Get her on the pod. Get her on Jake and Off.
Yeah, dude, we'd do a seance, a Ouija board. Where's that money?
She's like the bitch ex-wife.
Dude, I go all Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm like searching for buried treasure in the
middle of Olathe. You're just out in the downtown area digging up the courthouse.
It was so weird though. She was really adamant about it her entire life, and like her son ended up reaching out to my dad because this lady also kept reaching out to my little sister and other members of my family, and was like kind of harassing them a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I will admit, like super intrigued to like hear what she had to say, but at the end of the day, she's kind of like this sick old lady, and I'm like, as funny of a story as I think this could be, like it feels kind of wrong, you know? And so it's just like, whatever, I just blocked her. And I put her in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
She got zucked.
Yeah, dude. She had Facebook death before she had real death. She experienced what it was like to be on the cold outside.
Yeah. This is like that episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah,
where the people become invisible if they mess up on social media and their friends like unfollow them.
Yeah.
If you don't have any followers and they can't see you in real life,
they just manifest your insecurities.
Yeah. Stupid lady.
What a great.
No, but she died, and then her brother like got in touch with my dad and was like, hey, like I know she was a little incessant, but like there is like a little bit of truth to this, like da 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 da. My dad was just like, I don't give a shit.
It's a lot. And
my brother, I think my brother is like looked into it somewhat, like, and maybe like knows a little bit more than I do. But isn't that weird?
That seems like a lot of litigation to try and go through.
I know.
Like so much effort.
Like, and for something that I feel like seems so unrealistic too.
Right.
The idea that there's like this secret money somewhere that's just like gonna come and save me from my like
right.
You know,
this vision of utopia that you just like chase after until you die.
Yeah.
Like I got divorced. And the amount of paperwork that was
it a lot?
Oh my God, dude. Well, because I wasn't going to hire a lawyer, so I was going to do it all myself. But I could only imagine how much paperwork it would be to like rescue back a fortune from a company.
Dude.
You know, like a long lost heir of like
from like a guy who's dead now.
Yeah.
The guy who sold it is dead, and the guy who bought it is definitely dead. And now this lady who was like the most gung-ho about it is dead.
Yep.
I do know that like her brother, or like not her brother, her son, like when she passed away, they did like a cremation, and they were gonna like spread her ashes off the back of a motorcycle, and for some reason he wore a fake beard. Like during that. Isn't that weird?
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Like just like put it on and was like to spread his mom's ashes.
Just wanted to wear it for that.
I don't know.
I
if
thought
there
the story
was
was going to be.
I don't know if there was like a reasoning for it or anything.
That's still
my
strange.
dad saw it on like Facebook or something.
I thought you were going to say the ashes ended up in the fake beard, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Isn't that so strange?
That's a wild
fake
thing to just do
at your mom's funeral.
Off the back of a motorcycle is like trashy but beautiful, but with a fake beard is creepy. It turns it into like a. I hope they don't listen to this.
I got dude, I don't even know them. Like, so even if they did and they were upset, it's like, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's gonna reach out to you from beyond
and it's
the grave.
like, also, I'm just telling, like, this happened to me. The beard thing, that didn't happen to me. That was maybe a little too far, but it's weird. I think it's weird.
It's notable.
I'm not gonna edit that out.
Yeah, people on the podcast
I'm not gonna.
interested.
I'm not gonna censor myself.
Who's
dude?
not interested in a fake beard motorcycle cremation dump?
But the other shit did happen to me though. She did message me, so I feel like that's kind of my story.
Dude, you just dump your mom out as littering. You're just like littering down the sidewalk.
I have no problem with the motorcycle spreading your ashes. I've never even ridden a motorcycle. I kind of think it would be a cool way to have my ashes spread. My uncle had that done. He rode motorcycles all the time though.
That seems cool.
So they did that, but dude, that was honestly like one of the I hate like calling it like saying that my family has cool funerals, because I feel like that's like shitty to say, but I feel like my family has cool funerals. Like my Uncle Bill passed away. He was awesome, dude. I love all my family so much, but like when he passed away when I was in middle school, everybody just wore Chiefs stuff. Like that was like the thing, because he was a postman for like, fucking 40 years or something, like, and he just like had a heart attack and died like doing his job one day.
Massive
but he
Chiefs
like loved
fan.
the Chiefs, loved the Royals. Like he would always take us to games and like that kind of stuff, and we spent a lot of time with him too, like at the lake and shit like that. And so but everybody just wore Chiefs shit. There's so many people there, just like tons and tons of people. And the same thing with like my uncle Fred, who passed away. Yeah. He's the motorcycle man, and like we all wore like Harley Davidson shit. Like we had like custom made shit. Like they were like t-shirts. They're honestly sick fucking t-shirts that are like it's the Harley Davidson logo, but it's filled in with like my uncle, like R.I.P. Fred.
Oh, that's
kind
cool.
of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we all had those shirts, and
looks like a bumper sticker on the back of an F-150.
Yeah, dude. It was basically just like we were at this like, like meeting like some like meeting building or like community building, and it's just a bunch of bikers like eating beanie weenies and like everybody's getting drunk,
nice,
like that kind of thing.
That's what you want. You need booze at a funeral, or like just something that makes it a good time. Like all of my family's funerals have been real big bummers, and like in no way redeeming to who they were as people. Like I think I've told you this, I've done a couple of my family's funerals because when I was religious, they were like, you should do like
eulogies,
kind of a sermon, kind of.
Oh,
dude,
whoa.
It was bad. It was bad. I haven't told you this, dude. My mom,
dude, you're like trying out like stuff that would become your bit, and you're like, when I stub my toe. You know what's weird? When I stub my toe, it's kind of like when I come.
It kind of feels like when I sin. It hurts me. It makes me sting. Like,
what was it like? How old were you?
Like 19, 20. Maybe the worst experiences of my life.
Well, that's also just weird to have like a 19 or a 20-year-old speak at something like that is strange.
Right.
Unless they're like very, very precocious in some way. But even then, it's just like these people are about to speak, and like this guy died and like lived a whole life, and this is a teenager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What
like, how
know?
are they going to put perspective on this thing that like they don't really know anything about you.
Right. And I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't put any perspective on that or the faith that I was involved in. My family's not very religious.
Right.
But I got trapped in this very religious church.
Really? Like as like you're on your own
Yeah,
shit?
kind of.
Like,
yeah. I had was hanging out. It became very religious around me. Kind of like
Yeah.
the neighborhood got bad around me.
yeah, that's so funny.
It got very religious, and I just
Some
kind
people
of
like move in and put a cross
exactly
like, on their door or
and
something.
I'm just
You're
kind of
like,
like,
oh
well,
shit.
I kind of got to put a cross on my door. I want to fit in. And yeah, so I was giving sermons for my Aunt Florence, who was like a gambler. The only thing she left behind were a bunch of fur coats.
That's sick.
She
dude.
was like, she was a
That sounds tight as
motorcycle. She
hell.
was cool. Aunt Florence ruled, dude.
Yeah.
And so she died, and I was just like giving this like almost like fire and brimstone. Like I was like, nobody knows where they're gonna end up unless they call on the name of Jesus Christ. Like I was like,
That's
and my
so
mom
funny.
is in the front row because I'm up there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And my mom is in the front row, and I see her going, "Come on."
Oh,
Hey, baby.
dude, your mom gave you
Give her
the
right, dude. She's wrapping it
basically.
up, baby.
Wow.
And dude, I just remember feeling like, dude, it's always these moments where I want to improvise. I'm like, I could speak from my heart, and I
Yeah.
always end up terribly. Like I did that I've done it for 2 funerals, and I've gone insane. I did it for my vows. My vows were bummers, dude.
Wow, dude.
Bad vows, terrible vows.
No wonder you got
Oh,
divorced.
dude, we've talked about it. Emily was like, I should have known immediately that this was. Dude, I'm up there riffing, sweating, trying to go through it, and then she pulled out like 5 pages of notes
Wow,
pre-written, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't think I'm
Dang,
mature
dude,
enough
yeah.
for any of this. Yeah.
No, so somebody should have immediately been like, I object.
No.
This is a boy. This is no man. Child marriage is illegal. You can't marry this boy, Emily.
That's a Texas statute.
Oh, dude. So we've never had anybody like do that at like a funeral.
Give a sermon.
No,
Or be
like tell
serious.
somebody to wrap it up.
Oh, yeah.
But at my cousin's wedding, my the best man was giving his speech, and dude, you met a lot of my family. You went to my aunt's house for 4th of July that one time with the fainting goats and shit.
Yes, very fun.
Dude. And she he was taking a long time, and my uncle in the back, they're just rowdy people. It's just how they are. He was like, wrap it up. He started like yelling. He's like, hurry up. Like, he's like, come on. Like, we all want to drink and eat, dude. Like, you're taking forever. And I just remember being like, God damn, that is brutal.
That hurts.
Like, this dude is, I don't think that he, like, necessarily could hear it very well. Because they had stuck them, rightfully so, like, back in the back corner, like, closest to the bar.
Right.
Which is nice.
Dude.
Thoughtful. But, like, also, like, furthest away.
Have you ever been a best man or, like, a groomsman?
I officiated that wedding.
Oh.
But I've never, dude.
Dude, giving a speech for that is... I'm bad at those, too. Because, like, I... Dude, just big moments, I can't seem to, like, not say the shittiest things. Like, I was giving my friend's best man speech, and I was like... Yeah, what I was trying to say was, like... You know, out of all the people that we've met, like, you are the best person, right?
Yeah.
And instead I was like, out of all the girls that, like, Tyler, like, brought home with us, like, when that we met, and the room, like, immediately, like, you just feel the room go, oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Why are you bringing up all the other girls?
Yeah, come on, dude, you gotta go. It's just more... It's nonverbal, but it's a
Yeah.
lot of this
They're
energy.
like, come on, fat Steven.
Yeah, do the ha-has, do the funs. This is terrible. This is bad.
Dude, that's tough, man.
I should write that stuff out. I think that's my new thing. For Ryan's wedding, I'm
100%.
gonna like write a thing.
Nice, dude. What are you
I'm
gonna
not
say?
Stick to it, dude. I'm
What are you
gonna
saying?
be mean.
Hey, Mr. Tricky.
I'm just gonna be.
Dude, I think
Hey,
that
Mr. Sarah.
instead of doing a speech, you should sing "Happy Birthday" all sexy like Marilyn Monroe did for JFK. You
Mr. Tricky.
You should do that to Ryan.
That would be fun. I think
Yeah, I'm excited for his bachelor party going to the Chiefs game. Dude, I haven't been to a Chiefs game since Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback.
I think I went to one, but he wasn't starting. It was when he was hurt. They were playing the Jaguars. No, they were playing because they beat the brakes off the Jaguars. They beat them in like one half. It was like 28-0.
Nice,
it was like, what a fun
dude.
game.
Classic.
Fun game. Love spending $175 to.
It's so expensive.
It's crazy, dude.
It's crazy.
To get a ticket
Plus the
and parking. That's what I'm saying. Like a ticket's $60, parking $60. You get a hot dog and a beer.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've spent like a tenth of my paycheck.
Yeah. There goes $250.
I'm tithing
Easy.
to the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'm giving them all of my fucking.
Have you
inheritance.
watched any of that shit on Netflix, the quarterback show?
No, I want to. I almost turned it on.
Dude, it's pretty good. Kirk Cousins is like, because I feel like
he's very Christian. He's
pretty Christian. Yeah. He's very Christian.
Is he doing like Bible studies on the show?
He brings it up like multiple times.
Yeah,
you
we're
can
working
tell.
through this.
You can tell it's a situation where they brought it up way more, and just through the power of editing, they were able to like cut it down to make him seem more normal.
Yeah.
But that guy, his heart is on fire for Christ. Which whatever. I mean, they seem like good people, so it's like, you know, I don't have anything against people being Christian. I have things against like Christian institutions that are abusive.
Right.
But like there's nothing wrong with being religious. But it was weird. He's weird and just like the exact dude that you think he is. Like he's just mid as fuck.
Yeah,
like everything about him is just mid as hell, dude. Like it's so normal. Like, you know, all of this stuff that was happening last season with, you know, they're like have this crazy record. He's wearing the chains and things like that. And so all the time he's going around and people are like wearing chains and he's making time for people who clearly like big Kirk Cousins fans are like going shirtless to Vikings games.
Being a big Kirk Cousins fan.
I know, it's pathetic.
Instead of a Jordan Jefferson fan, instead of a Dalvin Cook fan, I like Kirk Cousins.
Dude, and so he does make a lot of time for fans and stuff, which is cool. He seems like a cool dude.
Right.
But it just is, he tries to paint himself as like, oh, I'm barely paying attention to like anything. He's like, I'm so like cloistered and like shut in. But meanwhile, like a big part of his shit is like he's talking to like a sports psychologist and like they're like letting you into like part of this. But it's like, dude, you know that a bunch of the other parts of this is him being like, I can't believe what they're saying about me. Like you can just tell.
Yeah.
Of.
The craziest people always want you to see into their therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Like Jonah Hill just made that documentary about like, oh, here's how you actively balance your life. And then he's just like, I don't want to see you in swim trunks, bitch. You're like, dude, you got to work on your life force. You should go do some push-ups like your fucking doctor told you to. Go write some things down and don't press send.
Dude, and the stuff that when you are listening to him in the therapy sessions too, the thing that I noticed the most about those parts is the conversation that they were having was like very superficial and like clearly like kind of played out.
Talking about Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins and this therapist, but also it was like him basically being like, yeah, like this is what I need to do, like da-da-da-da-da, like to make sure that I'm mentally focused for the next game. And the therapist is like, yeah, he's like, that's exactly right. And so it's like, dude, you're not even like, this isn't even interesting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this fucking part in the documentary at all?
Right.
Just you talking to a guy about, it's the same shit that he's saying into the camera in the interview.
Yeah.
None of it's different.
It's just them being like, God is validating.
Dude, he keeps reiterating like the same shit over and over again. And it's like, dude, this is why you suck at football. Because you keep doing like, you're not changing anything.
You've got the same pattern.
Yeah, he is tough as shit though.
Oh, I bet.
Dude, he was getting fucked up. I guess he was the most hit quarterback last year.
Really?
And his ribs were like fucked up for most of the year. And so he's like walking around on the like the whole time. Everything that you hear when he's mic'd up in the games is him going, which like it makes him sound like a like just like a little baby.
Uh-huh.
But it does seem
You
like
know it hurts.
It seemed like
you
it
know
hurt
it
really
hurts,
bad.
but also, dude, you got to change your tone.
Do a different.
You got to
voice.
change your tone when you're mic'd up.
Yeah, just be like.
Have you heard those guys being like, "Hey, man, I'm mic'd up. Hey, be careful. Don't say a slur right now. I'm mic'd up."
warning
Don't,
each other.
Yeah,
Don't curse.
But it should
like-
be to be like, no, whimper like a man.
Yeah.
Whimper. No. Get it together. You can't be out here.
He is, dude. He's like walking around. He's like, and he
Dude.
also, dude. He seems like an annoying guy to work with.
He
seems like an annoying guy to work with.
He seems, between him and Russell Wilson, I can't imagine a more annoying, like, two people.
Russell Wilson seems like he would be like the annoying, like overly positive dude.
Yes.
At your job, where he's like, everything's great, like da 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 da. But the insight into Kirk Cousins, because I would have thought the same thing about him before. But the insight that I gleaned is that he's more of like a guy who, like, doesn't, he doesn't like being told that he fucked up. Because there's a situation where it was in the Bills game where
But he does it so much.
Yeah,
you think
he
he would
fucks up
be
all
so
the
good
time.
at it.
And so in the Bills game when he didn't get in to the end zone, like at the very end of the game, he did a QB sneak. He like called that like off, like he just called that himself, this QB sneak. And so in the show, they show him call this QB sneak. He doesn't get in, and then Kevin O'Connell and him are talking on the sidelines because they're reviewing the play and shit. And he's like, "I was gonna call a timeout, man. Like what?" He's like, "Why'd you call that?" He's like, "I would have given you a way better formation. Like, dude, we gotta communicate." Like, and he's like getting on him because he just lost the game.
Right.
Like, and they ended up winning, but he lost the game.
Should
to
have
them
lost the
in
game.
that moment. Yeah. And so he's just like, "Yeah, I got it." He's like, I got it. And it's like, dude, well, clearly you fucking don't,
Right.
bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Talk it
just
out.
take it. Take it like a fucking, like a professional football player and be like, "Yeah, I fucked up," like, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Like, and that's just kind of like I saw like as a recurring theme. And that was like the difference, I think, between him and Patrick Mahomes is like when Patrick Mahomes like fucks up, he's like so mad on the sidelines. Like he's infuriated with himself and is like, "I fucked up like here, like
Right.
da-da-da, like this is what I got to do."
Right.
And when Kirk Cousins fucked up in those games, he was just like he's pouting.
I don't think that, like, you have to have that ability to be good at things, that
Yeah.
ability to be mad at yourself when you're bad or you do
Right.
something wrong. But I do think you have to have that to be elite at
Yes.
something. Like, I think it takes you hating
Yeah.
yourself and knowing that you fucked up.
100%.
Like, there's no good comic or like really great comic that's just going to be like, "Man, fucking pieces of shit. They don't get it. They don't know what
Yeah.
they're missing out on. I got it. I got it. Here, I'll do the material you
Yeah.
want. Fine. I got it. I think that's like a fun thing. I would also imagine, dude, if you put a mic and a camera on me for my like 8 months at my job, I would be so fucking good, dude. For 8 months, all I
yeah.
have to do is commit for 8 months. There's
Yeah.
no way I would let myself come off
as shitty.
in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form, dude. I would be on the sideline just like, "Fuck, hey, good job, guys. Hey, that one's
Right.
on me. That one's on me. I
Yeah.
know you guys work hard. You got good families. I love
Yes.
Cindy. Cindy's great." Like, just everything I could
Dude.
to be like, "Yeah, dude, you can fake it. You don't have to whimper like a little bitch for like."
Yeah.
If you get hit, you gotta. Fuck.
Dude, I watch everything with subtitles on, and there were so many moments in the show that had like in the brackets it just says like whimpering
Whimper.
or something like that. And dude, but it was cool. It was funny to me. They barely even brushed or like, if you watch this thing you don't know anything about Patrick Mahomes, you would barely know that he has a brother named
Oh yeah, I bet that was a piece of it.
He's like in it a couple times, like he's like in the background.
Because
but
when did they film it? They film it from.
they filmed it all last season, dude. So
that's when
from-
Jackson's getting fucking. Well, he gets tossed after the season.
that's like it was like during the end of the season, like playoffs kind of.
So they're probably backing off.
because it was
of
before
recording.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was before the Super Bowl that video came out, and then him getting arrested happened like a month or two ago.
Right.
But they're like, I bet that they definitely mic'd him at times. Like I bet that
Jackson?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there's got to be some
because
great
they do
B-roll.
They interviewed with his mom and his dad.
There's got to be behind the scenes stuff that there exists.
That's just Jackson Mahomes.
Oh.
That was what I was so curious
we gotta
about.
know somebody
Because he's in there. He's in there at like different times and stuff.
Yeah, there's an interview. There's a confession with him.
Yeah, at a confession.
Isn't that what they call them? What a testimonial?
Oh yeah, confessionals.
Confessional. Yeah,
confessionals.
a confession. It's just
yeah. There's a priest.
A priest being like,
He's
"Why
like,
did you
"Father,
kiss that woman?"
It has been 10 days since my last confession.
It's Jackson. It's Patrick. What's
Patrick Mahomes Sr.?
Yeah. It's just him in there with him.
Dude, there was this cool moment with his dad after he won the Super Bowl with the bum ankle.
I watched that. They were like really crying.
Dude, his dad is like hugging him and he's like, I've never seen anything like you.
Yeah.
And then in like his confessional, Patrick Mahomes is like, that was like crazy. Because, and he is crying in that moment. And not in the confessional, but like on the field when they're doing that, like right after the Super Bowl.
Right.
And
the only time you can whimper.
Yeah, and he's talking about how, he's like, yeah, like my dad was my hero growing up. And so like hearing him like tell me that, it was like crazy. And I was like, damn, dude, that's cool.
That would be wild.
That's sick. It's like
to hear my dad be like, yeah, that's so cool, son.
All we got to do is win the Super Bowl.
Dude. I told my dad today about, I was like, dude, you would like Tales from a Tour Bus.
Yeah.
That Mike Judge show where he like interviews these like behind this. Oh, dude, it's cool. Amazing. He animates the stories. The first one I saw was like Bootsy Collins was playing for James Brown.
Bootsy Collins
accidentally gave James Brown a bunch of acid through this drink that he had, and he was like, James Brown just sat out there for 15 minutes. Like doing the moon dance is what he called it, where he just sat for 15 minutes going. And then he would look back at the band and he would go, this one's going to be a hit. But Mike Judge animates it. And I was like, dude, Dad, you would love this. And he goes, I don't know if that sounds like my speed. I was watching more like biographies, and I was like, that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, but I was watching one about the Guess Who. You know the Guess Who? The Guess Who. They sing American Woman. American Woman. Did you know American Woman's a protest song? It's anti-American. It's about the Statue of Liberty. And he was a Canadian who went upstate, and then if you come downstate with a green card into the United States, you get registered for the draft. So he was like, American Woman, get away from me. And I was like, Dad, what the fuck?
That's so funny.
Just tell me you don't want to watch it. I don't need to know everything that you're gonna do with your what you love, but like, yeah, just to hear my dad be like, oh wow, that's cool, I'm so proud, that seems so awesome, I love that would go a million miles for
my
me.
My dad is pretty supportive. He did joke around about the fact that my podcast is called Jaking Off.
Nice. He gets
and he was like, oh, I'm so proud. I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah, sure.
I was like, Dad, I got news for you. One of the most popular podcasts was called Cum Town. Things have changed. Get with the times, old man. It's all about cum now.
Yeah, dude, we're hopping on the cum bandwagon. We're having on the cum train. Taking the cum train to Cum Town.
But dude, I don't know, his that moment with his dad was nice. I just, I don't know. I don't think I could ever I don't think my dad would ever be like, it's nothing we've ever seen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's just so good at football.
Yeah.
And there's just not that many people that are good at that already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that are pretty good at comedy.
Dude, and do you know what I mean? Does your dad still do the thing? Does he do this? He's like, you like comedy? Have you watched that new Ian Bagg special?
No.
He's like,
your dad likes Ian Bagg?
Ian Bagg is the
Crowd work
He was
guy.
like, you watched the Ian Bagg special? And I was like, no, I haven't. And he goes, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. It was masterful. And I was like, all right, cool. And then he goes, yeah. And then there's this biography about Jeff Dunham that's out. And I was like, Dad, how do you swing so hard and miss so mightily?
Oh, that's so funny. I don't know. My dad, I don't know what comedians he likes. I feel like he's talked to me about it before. I don't think that it's Jeff Dunham.
My dad didn't like comedy until I started doing comedy, and I think he wanted to understand.
Yeah.
I think he liked it before, but I don't think he actively.
He didn't know what he liked.
He probably still liked Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby
and
George Carlin. Well, I doubt he liked George Carlin, but
yeah,
Robin Williams.
Right.
And then that was it.
Yeah, I think that like my dad is just his concept of comedy. Well, he did come to an open mic one time.
Oh, poor baby.
And
Dude, where at? I want to
the
know
Mockingbird.
everything about
At the
that. When was this? How was this?
This was like I was living above there.
Oh, okay. So he came to your home and an open mic happened.
Kind of, yeah. He like barely ever came up there into like where we lived. But it was him and my sister and my aunt.
Uh-huh. That's rough.
And
Through an open mic?
Yeah.
How late did you go up? Were you up pretty early?
They didn't stay until I went up. They like made it through like 2 comics. We were really just there. I was like, well, we'll have dinner and then you guys can leave. Like, I'm going to be hanging out here for a while.
Yeah.
And they stuck around for the first 2 comedians.
And they were like,
it was traumatizing. Dude.
Yeah, dude, it's rough.
My dad suffered trauma. I don't think that that's like the words that he would use.
But it is. No,
But
we
he
know what it is
brings
like.
it up all the time and he's like, yeah, that was like crazy. Like the guy was just like screaming and like about like da 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 da. And yeah, he was like, that was terrible. He remembers Aaron Naylor from when we went in, when I moved to Chicago as a teen.
Yeah.
And we went up there to visit. We stayed with my dad, and he like loves ketchup. Like Aaron Naylor loves ketchup.
Oh
so
yeah,
much.
dude, he's like a little dog.
And my dad is like, yeah, Aaron, he's the guy who came and visited with you. He likes the ketchup. I'm like, yeah,
dude,
he's the ketchup.
I wonder if that would crush Naylor if he wasn't known by his little jokes, his little jokey jokes. Oh, dude, you've gone on the road with him? He is like, it's fun going on the road with Naylor because it's kind of like having a little dog with you. Like it's just something that wants to play ball and can eat garbage and can sleep on the floor.
Dude,
like has no
he's
standards
like,
and is just sweet, happy to be around.
Dude, when we went to
Even when he's angry, he's cute. He gets like so flustered, it's adorable.
We went to like Sioux Falls in South Dakota and did like a run of shows up there, and we stopped in Omaha on the way. It's Omaha and then Lincoln is further north, right? Or is it Lincoln and then Omaha?
Yeah.
Whichever one is closer, we stopped there first, and then we were staying with another comedian in the next one, Omaha or Lincoln. I don't fucking remember, but like we got there and they had fallen asleep because we'd done a show and then drove.
Yep.
And they were gonna let us in. And it was the middle of winter, dude, and it was so cold. I just remember it was like it's below 0 degrees.
God,
and we
dude.
were like,
In
we
the
can't.
car?
Yeah, we're gonna have to sleep in the car. And the person ended up waking up, and they felt really bad. And it was Tyler Walsh. Do you know Tyler?
Baby, yeah,
I love
Tyler.
Tyler so much. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah. Sleepy
and
boy.
He just it was a mistake, but we were like, fuck, dude. We were like gearing up. We had been outside of his apartment for like an hour. And we like, or like a little bit longer, we're like, fuck, dude, we got to put these, like, we can't just like have the car on all night.
Right.
And so we bundled up. We like got stuff out of our suitcases and we're covering up with it.
Oh my God.
And then we went and we did that.
Wait, why couldn't you have the car on all night? That would be the first thing I would do.
I don't know. Aaron said that we couldn't. And I thought that it was stupid.
That's
at
dumb,
the time,
dude.
too,
He's dumb
but
too. Yeah.
And I thought that was stupid at the time, but maybe it was because we didn't have any money. It might have been that we couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We can't sacrifice this gas. This gas is needed.
And so we were like gearing up for that. He came down and let us in. Then we went to Sioux Falls and we were doing that. It's like it was Boss's Comedy Club or whatever. It was in the pizza place. Did you do when it was in the pizza place?
No, I still haven't done it.
It was attached to like a walkout pizza restaurant.
Yeah.
And the pizza was amazing, and we got a free large pizza every night. And dude, there's hardly anybody showing up to the shows because now we're in fucking South Dakota. It's so cold.
It's freezing.
It was so cold, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to do anything, and so Aaron and I are basically just showing up to this pizza restaurant,
getting free
housing
pizza.
an extra large like pizza to ourselves every night, getting like piss drunk and doing comedy for like 4 people.
Comedy rules.
Like 4 people.
You traveled to do
Everybody was really nice. All the people that were there, like we had fun. It's not like, you know, because I've done enough shows for like 4 people that it's like it's not as intimidating as it used
you
to
think
be.
it
like,
is. Yeah.
You know, like when I first started doing comedy, you show up and you're like, oh, nobody's here. Like this is only gonna be bad, and you know, it's never like you never get the the height that you want out of a
Right.
set when there's only 4 people there, but it doesn't mean that it's always bad.
Oh no, I've had some of my
Yeah.
favorite sets, dude. I had a set at Harley's Hideaway where you remember that place in Shawnee, and nobody was there for the comedy. There was like 6 audience members eating, and as the other comics went up before me, the audience trickled out.
Yeah,
so
just
then by
slowly
the
but
time
surely.
I got up, I was the last comic. When I got up, every single audience member had left, and it was me, 3 comedians, the bartender, and the owner. And so I still had to do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, I had like my favorite, like probably my most fun set that I had in a long time.
Because it's just like, what's the, you
You
just
cut
talk to people like
loose.
they're your friends.
Well, yeah, and it was like that's a good way to treat like most crowds. I think,
Right.
is just to be like, whatever.
People want to be in on the joke.
they're
wanna
there
have
for it.
fun.
They're there
Yeah.
to enjoy the moment. Nobody's that mad.
Yeah.
It's always fun watching. I want to do we did that writers workshop.
Yeah,
it
how was
fun.
it?
It was good. It was
Yeah.
nice. But I want to do like a Q&A before where comics can be like, what do we do? How do we do
How
any
you-
of this?
Dude, you shouldn't do that. The only thing that they're gonna ask you,
How
because
do you get booked? How
how
do I get booked
Steven,
at Barrel and
can I have
Knuckleheads?
a spot at
Can I do a
Knuckleheads?
spot?
I've been telling people because they I do want to like give newer comedians opportunities. Like,
Absolutely.
one of my goals with booking a show, and so I've had some people reach out to me, and I've told them all the same thing, is I got to start doing better due diligence. And so I just basically told them, I was like, hey, look, I'm not saying no, but I just like barely watch anybody do comedy ever.
Right.
And so like, especially at open mics, like I'm not paying attention at all most of the time. And so I was like, so I really like don't have a frame of reference for your comedy, honestly. And
Right.
so I would like to see it first. So just like next time we're at the same place and you want me to watch you, just remind me,
Right.
and I'll watch your set, and I'll either like, tell you, yeah, like I'll reach out, or like no. And if you want feedback, ask me. Because I don't like giving people like unsolicited shit, even though
Yeah.
I think so many people need my advice.
Dude,
But like,
you know me. I've never been afraid just to be like, this sucks. I don't like it.
Dude, I feel uncomfortable telling people like honest advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody
Unless
asks
they're
me,
asking for it.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
they're asking for it. Like if somebody's like, what do you think about like my set or whatever, then I will tell them. But if nobody asks me like what my opinion is, I usually keep it to myself unless they're asking me like, hey, can I do a spot at your show or like
Right.
something like
Very
that.
rarely am I giving unsolicited advice about material because
Yeah.
material's so touchy. Until it's
Yeah.
like a friend and it's scary.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you haven't been funny in a very long time. What's going on?
Yeah,
That's only
dude.
happened a couple of times in my life, I think.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, it's just like my usual unsolicited advice is, hey, the whole way that you're going about this is stupid and dumb.
Yeah.
Like you're being a menace
Yeah, dude.
to this society.
Bro, it's tough. It's tough, I think, for people who are just starting out to separate their ego from it's not hard to separate. It's just tough to deal with the like sort of abuse that your ego takes in comedy.
Yeah.
Because like you get rejected so much. Like you
That's
get
most of what it is.
Yeah, you get rejected by audiences. You get rejected by, other comedians booking you on your shows. You get
Or just
rejected by
hanging
comedy
out.
clubs. Like,
They're just hanging out
Yeah.
like you're getting negged. You're
Yes.
constantly getting like,
yes.
dude, wear a new shirt to your
Yeah.
comedian hang like whatever.
Right.
If you're wearing a new shirt, somebody's gonna be like fucking dumb shirt.
Yeah,
and you
dude.
just gotta like wear that
Yes.
every time until you're calloused.
And it's and so it's just tough, I think, for a lot of people to like have that happen and be able to come out of that as like a healthy person.
Yeah, dude.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Dude.
and so I think that there's like this whole thing where people are like, yeah, like all these like mentally unstable people want to be comedians or whatever. But I think that there's a certain degree of it that is like comedy like creates sort of some instability for
Dude,
people.
it's the chicken or the egg. But I've
Yeah.
had this conversation, which is, I think if you're like one of those people that's like, I'm gonna pursue it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna legitimately pursue this endeavor. I
Yeah.
think you're a little unhinged. I think that's like just baked into it. If you actually know what it means, like if you actually know what it kind of like entails, you're like, oh, this is like a crazy person. It's like I'm listening to that Mike Judge thing, and it's going through outlaw country. Yeah, like they're telling the story of these outlaw country guys who are just like living couch to couch, shooting out tour buses, just drunk as can be, just degenerates. So and it's like that's the only way in like stand up. I mean, now you can like do social media stuff and kind of circumvent a little bit of that path.
You can go around it if you go viral.
But kinda. Like a lot of that is still, you know, like Jaron's a good example of somebody who's like gone viral and been popular. But like if you talk to him about his early days in stand up, like it's him just traveling 8 hours in a van, like just grinding. And
I think that's like a common misconception about some of the people who go viral online. Is like the idea that like, oh, they went viral and so they got like all this success really quickly, but they weren't really working very hard.
Right.
But like that's not true. Like Trevor Wallace is another guy who, you know, he got popular doing like those videos that are like, you know, he's like, I'm the employee at like Zoomies or whatever. And he got popular doing those videos on TikTok or something. But he'd been doing comedy for a long time.
Well, that was like Trey Crowder, the liberal redneck, who like popped off like kind of right when Instagram was doing like video stuff and all that. And like, I mean, he popped and now he's still, I mean, he was already doing stand up for like 7 years at that point. So like a lot of those people are tested and they're good to work with. I enjoy doing those shows.
Yeah. Well, dude, we're at 55 minutes.
Dude, we didn't even have to go to a current event?
No, we didn't even have to, which is honestly good.
Can I give you one for next time?
Yeah, what is it?
I was going to bring one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tyler Childers just released a song today, his new single from his new album.
Yeah.
Not super cool. The music video, gay as hell.
Really?
Super gay.
Wow.
Incredibly gay.
Okay.
And there are people on the Facebook. I just saw it before I came
about
over
it,
here.
Dude. They're like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, they're like, he switched teams.
Yeah. Well, he put out a statement too that was it was recently. It was about the what's that fucking guy's name? Jason Aldean. Yeah.
Did Childers put something out about it?
He put a statement out about it that was like basically him being like, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like this guy's an idiot kind of thing.
Did you ever see his Black Lives Matter thing?
Yeah, I listened to that too. That's a good song.
Yeah, and he's great. But when I saw that music video, I was like, oh, dude. Gay country from a straight dude. This is going to be a problem.
Pissed.
Yeah, they're going
to be really mad.
So yeah, just watch it, get a little hard, and then tell me how you feel about it.
Do you have anything you want to plug? This will come out on Tuesday.
Nice. If it comes out on Tuesday, if you live in Minneapolis or if you know anybody that lives in Minneapolis, I'm going to be at the Comedy Corner Underground Friday and Saturday. You know how good it feels to finally be able to say I'm like headlining a thing.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
like
nice.
So much fucking fun.
Yeah, that's a cool spot.
I'm going to be there in Minneapolis and then listen to Set to Destroy.
Set to Destroy.
Come to a Barrel of the Bottom show in Kansas City.
Yeah, come to Knuckleheads.
See me and Jake. Me or Jake.
Are there every Sunday. I'm going to be in Chicago this week. Tuesday, Chicago Underground Comedy at Beat Kitchen. Thursday, I'm going to be at House of Blues in Chicago in the Foundation Room. And then Saturday, I'm doing Don't Tell Comedy. So come out to a show.
Do you know where it's going to be?
It's going to be at I.O., I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
For Don't Tell? Nice.
Yeah,
that's fun.
That'll be sick. So,
all right.
Come out to one of those shows, like and subscribe to this podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and send us an email with anything you think that I need to take a look at to jakeand.off.podcast@gmail.com. I love you. Thank you for listening. I love you so much. Thank you. Goodbye. That's the end of it.